This man divorced his wife and put all her stuff outside. Check out why.
I divorced my wife because the way that she started dressing. I told her from the jump that I don't like women that dress provocative. I don't like that stuff at all. You have to dress modest. You know what I'm saying? Only dress provocative if it's just me and you inside the house. So she started hanging out with these girls from a job. And, I met them. And I'm instantly just thinking in my mind that this is not a good group right here. This is one of them groups where she's not going to want to feel like she's being left out and stuff like that. And I told her, I said, I don't think you should be hanging out with these chicks because all these chicks are single. You know what I'm saying? None of these chicks are married. Single women, they tend to get married women in trouble. So after about like a month, you know what I'm saying, of her chilling with these girls, she started dressing like how they was dressing. And I'm like, whoa. I was like, where you going with that on? And then she told me, she was like, it's just an outfit. It's not much. I'm just, just dressing for the occasion. I'm like, no. I said, no, you got to take that off. I'm like, no, I don't care who you hanging with. You can't put that on, man. You're not fit to go out there dressed like that. And instead of her going to change, she left anyway. She said, no, this is what I'm going to wear. All my friends are dressing like this, and this is just what I'm going to wear. Okay. When she came back, it only take one time to do that thought stuff with me. You know what I'm saying? When she came back, 2 o'clock in the morning, all her stuff was outside. All of it. She was knocking on the door, calling my phone, asking me to let her in. I said, no, it's over. I said, you only got one time to do me like that. And I'm like, yeah, it's over. Nah, heck no. I asked you not to go out there and dress like that. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like you showing too much. I said, it's over. So I threw all her stuff out and then let her back in. Call her mom and call her dad. I said, it's over. I said, I don't talk to people that dress provocative. I don't talk to people like that. And now she want to start because she's hanging out with these girls. I kicked her butt out. Fellas, one time, that's it. You let it fly after that, they're just going to keep doing it to you. One time.
Woo! Now, listen, I can already hear the women going crazy. Just please hear me out because I understand wanting to feel you have autonomy and entitlement to your body and all of that, and that is wonderful. I'm not even going to hate on how you feel or judge how you feel. But here's the thing. What a lot of women don't realize when they get married is that they are no longer just themselves. They are part of a unit. They are not only part of a unit, but yes, you belong to someone just as much as he belongs to you. And for some reason, you're down for the commitment when it comes to getting the ring and the marriage and the celebration and the dress and the house and the cars and the clothes. But when it comes down to meeting his expectation, now you want to argue. And it's not really becoming of a good companion to go into a commitment that way, because you have to have an understanding as to where he is coming from. When a man gets married, he assumes responsibility for his wife. When a man gets married, he assumes responsibility for all the children that come from that marriage. Okay? And so in him assuming responsibility, he acknowledges that by providing for the people he is responsible for, by protecting the people that he is responsible for. So as a man, he understands his responsibilities, and he also covets and respects and honors and holds himself to a standard when it comes to those responsibilities. So him being a man, he not only understands the responsibility he owes to his family, but he understands within his nature and his instinct, the logic and the nature behind how men navigate the world as a whole. So when he decides to get married, he understands what men see when they look at a female. when they look at her body, when they look at her hips, when they look at how much skin is showing, her cleavage, the way she talks, the way she presents herself. See, men have a different language than women. See, women compete with each other. We talk about beauty, we talk about how much things cost. But when it comes to men, they tend to be a lot more physically motivated, aesthetically motivated. So they interpret how you dress, they interpret your language and conversation to mean things more in depth. In addition to what you're saying, they hear what isn't said. The way you lick your lips, the way you smile, the way you look, if it's a glance or a stare, all of those things are interpreted different by a man because he's essentially on the prowl. A man is trying to lock in a woman in a sense. And as the woman, as the prey essentially, and not literally, but figuratively speaking, the hunter has to understand how the prey interacts with her environment so he can reel her in essentially. So he learns how she moves, how she dresses, how she behaves, and what these things mean, what an available woman looks like, and how she portrays herself. And so when a man develops that understanding, now he's looking at you with those intentions because he has collected enough data off of your presentation to have developed an understanding as to what you are in this environment for. And so a husband understanding that reality does not want his wife to be looked at in that context, and he wants to do his best to make sure she is not assessed in that way, because he knows with her not being available for another man's intention, she will have to decline and refuse his advances. And as a man, he knows that most men don't do rejection well. They can get very aggressive. They can get very arrogant. They can get very, very possessive when it comes to their ego and their experience around women. That can mean that she can be in danger potentially. As a man, as a husband, he would want to protect her from that potential experience, especially if he's not going to be present. He wants to protect her to the best of his ability. And that may look like telling her he does not like what she has on when she leaves. Because if anything should happen to her, if anybody should approach her, if anybody should overlook and step over her boundaries when she refuses his advances, it has now become a problem for the husband. And when he has to solve that problem, when there is an issue between two men, it's very little to talk about. And the end result can look like a man losing his life, his freedom, or his reputation. And those things are things that men hold dear when it comes to their value as a man. So they protect it with everything that they have. So if you have a woman, if a man has a woman who doesn't care about respecting those three things that he honors, his self-respect, naturally, if he is in fact a man and has clear and concise boundaries, he would have to cut that woman loose, because not only is she willing to disrespect herself, she is willing to disrespect him, even when he steps in front of her and says, "Baby, I don't like that. That's not okay with me." Well, I'm just going to do this anyway. Understand that his interpretation of what's being said is no matter what it costs you. If it costs you your life, I want to wear this. If it'll cost you your freedom, I want to wear this. If it'll make you look bad as a husband and a father and a leader of this household, I'm going to go ahead and wear this. So a man would, understandably so, cut a woman loose, disrespecting his boundaries and standards for himself as a man, and the reflection of the standard of his family. So ladies, we have to really pay attention to our men and respect their wishes, because we protect them as well by how modestly we conduct ourselves. And as much as you may not think so, the way you reveal your body has more influence over men than you may give yourself credit for. Peace.